All right, let's get some feedback from you all on some of these questions. Let's stop right here. Give us the difference between an unengaged and an unreached people group.
Unengaged, no one is trying. Unreached, less than 2%.
All right, unengaged, no one's trying. Unreached, less than 2%. Any other thoughts from one of these tables? Here at 21. Anything different?
He stole our answer.
Well, he got the right answer. Didn't steal it. So the deal is, unreached, less than 2% believers. Unengaged, no one is trying. No one is trying for how long? How long has no one been trying in these groups?
Don't know.
Don't know. The answer, no one is trying for 2,000 years. So the question is, how much longer are we going to wait? It's time to step up and to do it. Now, why haven't we? Why haven't we reached these yet? I'm going to come back here to the back. All right. Why haven't we reached these people yet?
Selfishness, and we love our lives too much.
All right. Pretty convicting. Over here, why haven't we reached them yet? You the leader? He's the leader over here.
Because we're not preaching the last commandment in our churches.
All right. It's a good answer. Other thoughts over here? Why haven't we reached these groups yet?
No one's trying.
No one's trying. What's their typical thing, though, in our churches?
I would say fear of the unknown, of going to new places and new challenges. I think people have a fear of that.
I think that's exactly right. You know, we're so afraid to fail. What would happen if we got embarrassed? If we tried to do something and failed? Would God be pleased if you set out and said, we're going to try to do this and failed? Would God be pleased? I think he's pleased when we're faithful to go. He didn't say go and be successful. He just said go. When I first came into ministry, somebody challenged me to be a part of the ministry of Campus Crusade for Christ. They asked you to make a 2-year commitment. And I thought, oh, wow, I've never been holy for 2 years in a row. I better not do this. And then God began to get a hold of my life, and I thought, you know, I'm going to say yes, and I'm going to ask some people to hold me accountable and to pray for me. And I said, you know, I don't know if I can do this. What if I commit myself to Christian ministry and then no one wants to receive Christ, and people are giving me money, and then I'm there and I'm just not, nobody's coming to Christ, and this is going to be a terrible failure. And then I read 1 Corinthians 4:2. It's required in stewards that a man be found faithful, not successful. And I said, okay, what I'll do is I'll just do everything they tell me to do. And if it doesn't work out, it's their fault. Because I'm just doing what I know to do to be faithful. And I think that's the same principle when we start talking about unengaged, unreached people groups. The principle is that we try to be faithful to go. And then it's up to God to bring the results. If we have people praying, if we're faithful to share the message, if we find partners in that country who know the language and the culture, if we help them and together we make a plan, then it's up to God what happens. And sometimes there's great response and sometimes there's not. Let me ask you another question, because we've got these two things. Any other responses up here why we haven't done this yet? Why haven't we got to all these groups?
Well, I think another possibility is because of strategic mistakes that we make in the mission field. for instance, in India, we have many Western missionaries are already in place. And there are many people groups who are unreached. However, but neighboring people groups have been reached. And many of them understand the culture and the language. It's much easier to train them to become a missionary, to go to their own neighbor unreached people groups than sending Westerners from across the ocean to go there and evangelize. And I have seen too many mission forces in the field is not utilizing national forces wisely to evangelize their own unreached people groups.
And why, I agree with you 100%, why is it that we don't use the nationals in the field and challenge them to reach their own people? Why don't we do that?
I see many denominational mission groups in the field are too much politically involved in their own expansion of their own small world of missions, what they think they need to do, number one. And number two, there is no unity in the different denominational mission forces. And number three, that they do not believe that 1-year or 2-year-old baby Christians in the field are qualified. We think that they must go to Bible school, they must have a master's degree. After sending them to Bible school and master's degree in America, when you bring them back, they don't want to go to those small villages anymore. We kill their zeal, and so we don't utilize them when they're, in baby Christians.
I'm going to be joining this table, and James will be leading the rest of the seminar. Exactly right. Good point. We do all the speaking because we're better. I saw a guy come up once. He was leading a session like this. He came up and he swept the platform for about 5 minutes. And then I watched him. He was folding some bulletins. And finally somebody came up to him and said, "What are you doing? Can't you get anybody else to help with these?" And he said, "Well, no one does it quite as well as I do it." And sometimes that's where we are. 2 Timothy 2:2, the things I've said to you entrust to faithful men who will teach others also, has nothing to do with how long it takes to be a faithful man or woman.
I just wanted to relate a story along those lines. I have an acquaintance who was an initiator of a major revival in what was in Rhodesia and then became Zimbabwe. And he and his wife actually turned down a gift of a nice suburban four-wheel drive vehicle when they went into the country, because they knew for them to move the gospel in that country, they had to live like the natives. And they would walk on foot from one place to the other. And they were South Africans. The American missionaries would drive by in their four-wheel vehicles and not pick them up. And they would import their washing machines from America so they could continue living their American lifestyle in the midst of the poverty in which they were living. And my friend and his wife were instrumental in coming against the major witch doctor in that country. And immediately all this word got around what had happened. And it started a major influx of Muslims coming to their little storefront place because they knew that these people would love them, because they were not like the other missionaries that they encountered, because they were willing to live the same lifestyle as the people that they were willing to reach. And there was a period of time that my friend and his wife were bringing 40 Muslims a day to the Lord because they had made that decision to live the same lifestyle as the people who were native to that country.
Wonderful, wonderful. Any more over here? Why we haven't done it yet?
Why we haven't done it yet is as a result of ignorance. We choose not to know the things that we don't know because we are comfortable with the things that we know and we're not willing to give it up. Most of us here heard about certain countries for the very first time yesterday or during this conference. And only a few of us will even go back home and attempt to look up that country. to even study to know what that country is all about. All I want to know about is my own little congregation. You know, how much tithe is in the offering box and nothing else. And for the pastors, our major thing is, how do I grow my church? This seminar is on how do I get more members to look like me, talk like me, dress like me, and all those things, rather than focusing on equipping the saints so they can know the things that we don't know, because we are scared of knowing the things that we don't know. But we don't want somebody else to know the things that we don't know, because then they will steal our thunder. So we don't want to do anything about it.
Wow, that's pretty clear, and not always so easy to hear. So when our role as pastors, or the pastoral role we play in churches of helping, equipping saints for their work of service, we need to think about equipping saints that live outside of our area for their work of service in their country. Because Acts 1:8 says our mission is Jerusalem, Judea, Samaria, and the uttermost. And when I ask you to go to the uttermost, you're thinking, oh, it's going to be tough. And right today, over in the middle of Congo, somebody's saying, oh, don't send me to Miami Valley. It's tough there. Simpson?
Reaching unreached people groups has been a passion for me, and God planted me to work in a ministry to reach people groups with God's word on audio format. And then one of the reasons why we didn't really, though I had a passion before, and even now, I don't have a specific information about these people groups like we have now. Detailed, specific information. I didn't have this information before. I was struggling to get the pieces and bits here and there. Now I have a detailed information that I can get on board, and we have been working. In Congress in Orlando, we committed for 20 people groups to reach with God's word on audio format, and we're going to train 10 people groups in March now. So we made a big progress on researching and developing workers there, translators there, and technicians to record it. So that's a great blessing. We're moving forward.
Simpson's a great partner from India. If the Lord leads your church organization to pick up some India groups, Simpson will help you get the Bible done on audio tape if you don't have it done. He'll help get the oral Bible translated if you need that done. And he's a great partner, and one of the reasons that India is just spurring ahead. So where have we gotten to now? We've gotten to the fact that, number one, is a lot of us didn't know about these groups. Number two, we've got our own plan and program going, so we haven't done it yet. And thirdly, we haven't known who to send. That's been a question. But now we've got a process in gear. And what our brother over here talked about, and several have mentioned, that the best kind of process we can be involved in is to find nationals in the country where the Unreached People Group is, and then be a partner with them. Don't go in with your plan. Go in to do a plan together to say, how can we help you do this? And they can provide some people. They can provide some finances. You can provide some finances. You can mobilize prayer. You may need door opening strategies. There might be things like providing for school kids or digging a well. Lots of things that you can do that will help open the doors. But you've got people there. Now, those workers that are there are going to need training. You might have to bring in a training organization. You might need somebody who's doing relief and development organization. You put together a plan. One of the things we can do, if you decide today and tomorrow that we're going to try this, God making it possible, we're going to sign up. We don't know which group yet, but we're going to sign up. We're going to take a country and go. We will send you from our office. You can email finishingthetask.com. We will send you what to do on your survey trip. It's about 10 pages of questions to go in to ask. And you'll see even on that one, your number one thing is to come back from that trip with a partner. That's your number one objective, to go there to find somebody you can trust. If you don't know who to trust in that country, we'll help direct you to people that we think are faithful. Might not be from your denomination or your group, but we'll find people for you to have contact with that we believe are trustworthy, and you can then take the next steps. It's not like having the whole thing. There's no cookie cutter kind of idea with this. This is where we pray and we go. It's kind of like the first missionaries did 100 years ago. They got on the boat and they didn't have it all. They couldn't come back very soon, so they got on the boat to go. We're going to get on the planes to go, and then God will make the way as we're faithful to go forward.